His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, received the Chairman of the Board of Governors of the Middle East Institute, General Retired John Abu Zaid, at Rifa Palace. His Royal Highness affirmed the long-standing US-Bahrain relations and the multi-sector collaboration across various levels. His Royal Highness highlighted the importance of furthering the bilateral partnership to meet joint aspirations. His Royal Highness also highlighted the role of the research institutes and their wide-ranging contributions, including in furthering relations between countries. Issues of common interest and regional and global development were also discussed. In this regard, His Royal Highness stressed the US's vital role alongside allied countries in safeguarding regional security. His Royal Highness further emphasised the Kingdom's ongoing commitment in cooperating with the US and allied countries to support efforts that consolidate security and peace. The Chairman expressed gratitude for His Royal Highness's commitment to furthering Bahrain-US relations, noting His Royal Highness's ongoing support of the studies and research by research institutes and centres. As a patron, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa attended the opening ceremony of the first phase of the hydroponics production project and launch of the brand of the Bahrain Agricultural Development Company. The event coincides with His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa's Silver Jubilee. His Highness was received by the Minister of Municipality Affairs and Agriculture and Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Bahrain Agricultural Development Company, Engineer Waila Mubarak, and a number of senior officials at the hydroponic farm in Hurat Ali, where he acknowledged the significance of His Majesty's Silver Jubilee for achieving wide-ranging successes. His Highness noted that the expansion of agricultural development projects aligns with His Majesty's directives and the government's strategic vision to foster innovative initiatives that enhance agricultural production, led by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa. His Highness commended the important role of Her Royal Highness, the wife of His Majesty the King and Chair of the Advisory Council of the National Initiative for Agricultural Sector Development, Princess Abika bint Ibrahim Al Khalifa, in launching initiatives that enhance capabilities and promote creativity and excellence in agricultural development. His Highness was briefed by the Minister of Municipality Affairs and Agriculture on the hydroponics project's operations and its use of modern agricultural methods and tools. His Highness viewed a video screening on the project and the launch of the Bahrain Agricultural Development Company's brand and toured the hydroponics facility, inspecting seedling beds. His Highness commended the efforts of the Ministry of Municipalities Affairs and Agriculture and the Bahrain Agricultural Development Company, as well as the staff, expressing best wishes for the continued success. For his part, Al Mubarak affirmed that the launch of the project and the company's brand aligns with His Majesty's directive to enhance national food production, supported by His Royal Highness. The Minister also highlighted Her Royal Highness Princess Abika's role in supporting the agricultural sector. The Minister noted the contributions of the Ministerial Committee for Development and Infrastructure Projects, headed by Deputy Prime Minister Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, in overseeing various development and food security projects in the Kingdom. He stated that the first phase of the hydroponics project, focused on Hurat Ali and Duraz, will expand modern agricultural production methods and aims to annually produce 260 tonnes of agricultural goods per site, totalling 520 tonnes for the Kingdom's food stock. The initiative includes establishing 7 greenhouses, an agricultural incubator and a collaboration with specialised company for operations, production and marketing from both sides. The event was also attended by a number of senior officials. A joint parliamentary discussion session was held at the headquarters of Egyptian Senate, chaired by the Representatives Council Speaker Ahmed Al-Musalim and the President of the Egyptian Senate, Councillor Abdul Wahab Abdul Razik. Al-Musalim affirmed the depth of the strategic and brotherly Bahraini-Egyptian relations and hailed the development thanks to the support of His Majesty the King and the President of Egypt, with a follow-up of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister and the Prime Minister of Egypt. He noted that Bahrain's hosting of the upcoming Arab Summit will constitute a new phase of Arab action and joint solidarity, based on His Majesty the King's visit to Egypt and his meeting with the Egyptian President. He affirmed the importance of strengthening the role of parliamentary diplomacy in supporting Bahraini-Egyptian cooperation for the benefit of the two countries. For his part, Councillor Abdul Razik thanked the efforts of His Majesty the King in consolidating cooperation between the two countries, strengthening Arab solidarity, establishing the foundations of security and peace, supporting Arab action and defending its just causes. He noted that Bahrain's foreign policy is a pioneering model in its keenness to support Arab issues and priorities. He also stressed the Egyptian Senate's keenness to strengthen cooperation with the representatives and shura councils, and exchange experiences and coordinate positions in parliamentary forums. The Shura Council Chairman Ali Al-Saleh participated in the closed session of the 6th Conference of the Arab Parliament in Cairo. During the session, which was presided over by Arab Parliament Speaker Adel Al-Assoumi, a draft document prepared by the Arab Parliament entitled A Parliamentary Vision for Achieving the Safe Employment of Artificial Intelligence was approved and will be submitted to the 33rd Arab Summit to be held in the Kingdom of Bahrain next month. The Arab Parliament held a meeting under the theme An Arab Parliamentary Vision for Achieving the Safe Employment of Artificial Intelligence, which witnessed the awarding of the Deputy Prime Minister, Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, with the Development Pioneers Medal, which is an honour awarded to distinguished non-parliamentarian Arab figures. More in this report.
The Arab Parliament honoured the Deputy Prime Minister, Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, and awarded him the Development Pioneers Medal in recognition of his pioneering role, his development contributions, and his active participation in creating an economic renaissance in the Kingdom of Bahrain. This honor is awarded to distinguished Arab figures who are not parliamentarians, making the Deputy Premier the first Arab official to receive this honor in appreciation of his contributions and in recognition of his valuable initiatives in the field of development at the national and Arab levels. The Kingdom of Bahrain continues to witness unprecedented development during the prosperous era of His Majesty the King, with the follow-up of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, and enjoys a remarkable democratic experience that produces a competent society. Bahrain has taken realistic and tangible steps towards making many achievements in various areas of development to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. Receiving this honor by the Deputy Premier sends a message of appreciation and gratitude for the role and efforts of the Deputy Premier in the field of sustainable development.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdul Latif bin Rashid Al Zayani, met with the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Expatriates of Lebanon, Abdullah Abu Habib, on the occasion of the Minister's visit to Lebanon as part of his visits to a number of Arab countries. The two sides discussed the bilateral brotherly relations and ways to further enhance the cooperation in all fields to achieve mutual interests. They also discussed recent regional developments and the repercussions on regional security and stability. Dr. Al Zayani briefed his Lebanese counterpart on the preparations for the upcoming Arab Summit that will be held in Bahrain on the 16th of May and the topics on the agenda. The Minister of Labour, Jamil Humaidan, delivered the Kingdom of Bahrain speech during the 50th session of the Arab Labour Conference held by the Arab Labour Organisation in Iraq. Humaidan affirmed that Bahrain, under the leadership of His Majesty the King, with the follow-up of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, attaches considerable importance to keeping pace with technological developments in the labour market and its needs for qualified national competencies to manage production in various sectors. He hailed the report of the organisation's General Director, stressing Bahrain's readiness to cooperate with technological changes. The Minister added that the Kingdom will launch the strategy for the communications, information, technology and digital economy sectors 2022 to 2026. He pointed out that the government harnessed many resources and capabilities to improve programmes of developing education and training and qualifying and developing human resources. Humaidan also touched on the Kingdom's efforts in developing national plans and programmes that create more qualitative opportunities for citizens. Following the order of His Majesty the King to maintain the historic and cultural identity of Bahrain cities and buildings, and the implementation of the directives of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister in this regard, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Planning, in cooperation with the Maharik Governorate, organised a discussion session regarding Maharik Development Project in the presence of ministers and senior officials. The Minister of Housing, Amna Al-Ramehi, affirmed the keenness of the concerned bodies to implement the project and the keenness to keep contact with the people of the Governorate, to listen to their opinions and update them. The Minister added that the plan witnessed the implementation of a number of procedures, including issuing the project guideline, which is a reference for clarifying the regulatory requirements for construction, and launching the official page for the project on the website of the Ministry, with the aim of introducing the objectives of the plan and the appointment of the consulting company to design the neighbourhoods, leading to the procedures related to the acquisition of real estate located within the development areas.
The city of Muharraq has always been known for its Bahraini heritage and identity, and the extent of the feeling of pride that has been rooted in the heart of every Bahraini towards it. It has eternal memories recorded in history. It is a beacon of knowledge, literature and culture, and a place for many poets and writers. The launch of the Muharraq Development Project will preserve the Muharraq historical and cultural identity. Muharraq is famous for traditional Bahraini houses that shows the fabric of the city and gives the finest example of Islamic architecture in the GCC. The development of the city took into account a clear plan through which a number of officials and people of the governorate were briefed during a discussion session that brought together the government agencies implementing the project. The development of the city of Muharraq is distinguished by heritage and creativity, which are two pillars that will strengthen the local community and its belonging in an innovative and creative way. The Kingdom of Bahrain and the Investing in Culture initiative was able to achieve massive investment in cultural infrastructure, which contributed to Muharraq becoming a source of inspiration for design projects whose impact is witnessed locally, regionally, and internationally.
The Minister of Works, Engineer Ibrahim Al-Hawaj, met with the Minister of Exports, Business and Trade of the United Kingdom, Lord Offord, as part of the Minister's visit to the UK. Al-Hawaj affirmed that the Ministry is continuing to strengthen the components of integrated infrastructure that contribute to achieving the desired goals, noting the importance of exchanging experiences to develop infrastructure. The two sides discussed strengthening of the existing joint cooperation in the field of infrastructure development and ways to expand the horizons of exchanging experiences in the interest of the two friendly countries. On the sidelines of the meeting, the Ministry of Work signed an agreement to implement the work of the North Sitra Wastewater Treatment Plant Development Project, which is one of the strategic projects being implemented by the Ministry. The President of the Survey and Land Registration Bureau, Engineer Basim Al-Hammer, affirmed that the real estate sector in Bahrain witnessed a remarkable development during the first quarter of 2024. More in this report.
The continuous process of development and modernization adopted by the Survey and Land Registration Bureau was able to support the growth of real estate trade in the Kingdom of Bahrain to increase competitiveness and stimulate and sustain the investment environment. The advanced administrative means that are in line with the government's approach facilitated the procedures, which contributed to increasing market activity and introducing several tools for the Bahraini real estate market to affirm the mutual trust as a result of the safe environment in the kingdom. According to recent statistics, the real estate sector has witnessed an increase in demand for purchasing real estate, such as apartments and residential towers, houses, lands, and buildings in the four governorates, and the capital had the highest real estate sales during the first quarter of this year. The Survey and Land Registration Bureau continues to provide surveying and real estate services as a result of the reliable, high-quality expertise to meet the expectations of beneficiaries and form an infrastructure that supports the future needs of the Kingdom of Bahrain.
The King Hamad Global Centre for Peaceful Coexistence, in cooperation with Bahrain Centre for Strategic International Energy Studies at Adirasat, launched the Greenhouses of Worship programme, held in the presence of a number of officials, experts, researchers and media platforms. The chairman of the Board of Trustees of the King Hamad Global Centre for Peaceful Coexistence in Adirasat, Sheikh Dr. Abdullah bin Ahmed Al Khalifa, affirmed that the address of His Majesty the King at COP28 highlighted Bahrain's achievements in environmental security, adding that the initiative between the two centres aims to enhance the principles of sustainability in various places of worship to achieve environmental balance. Sheikh Dr. Abdullah highlighted the follow-up of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister on efforts to achieve carbon neutrality by 2060, hailing the positive role of the Supreme Council for the Environment, led by the personal representative of His Majesty the King. Sheikh Dr. Abdullah noted the importance of submitting innovative and influential initiatives that reflect Bahrain's reality as a home for peace and coexistence, and utilising this model in combating environmental challenges. He affirmed that the cooperation between the King Hamad Global Centre and Adirasat embodied the commitment to enhancing sustainable practices in society. During the ceremony, a memorandum of cooperation was signed between the two centres to encourage religious institutions in Bahrain to adopt environment-friendly practices. The Shura Council held its weekly session, presided over by its first Deputy Chairman, Jamal Fakhro. The Council approved the recommendation of the Services Committee to adhere to the Council's previous decision regarding a draft law, adding a new article to Law 3 of 2008 on the Social Insurance Organisation. The Council also approved the permissibility of a proposal on regulating artificial intelligence and its uses. The Prime Minister's Fellowship Programme hosted a gathering for its current fellows and the alumni of the programme. The gathering was organised to highlight the importance of enhancing the programme's outcomes in line with the visions and aspirations of His Majesty the King and the support of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister. His Royal Highness has recently directed the formation of a committee tasked with following up with the programme's alumni in accordance with the programme's goals and objectives. The programme has succeeded in creating a group of national leaders who participate in the development and advancement of the Kingdom. Since its inception in 2015, the programme resulted in 110 graduates, a number of which assume executive positions within government. And in Arab and international news, the UAE Vice President, Prime Minister and ruler of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, approved the designs of the new passenger terminal Al Maktoum International Airport, worth 128 billion dirhams. During his visit to Dubai Aviation Engineering Projects, His Highness was briefed on the organisation's strategic plan. His Highness affirmed that Al Maktoum International Airport will be the largest in the world, indicating that it will be 5 times the size of Dubai International Airport and will include 400 aircraft gates, 5 parallel runways, an internal train for easy transportation of passengers, and a central transportation station that includes all types of transportation to and from Dubai. His Highness stated that the airport will use new technologies for the first time in the aviation sector and noted that all operations at Dubai International Airport will be transferred to it in the coming years. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia hosted the first special meeting of the World Economic Forum on Global Collaboration, Growth and Energy for Development. More in this report.
The first global meeting of the World Economic Forum was held in Riyadh, which aims to diversify the economy and enhance the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's position as a leading regional and international centre. Hosting this important event embodies the Kingdom's commitment to strengthening international dialogue and cooperation to achieve sustainable development and build a better future for all. This meeting is considered the first of its kind held outside of Davos after the COVID-19 pandemic and includes the participation of heads of state, senior officials, international experts from government and private sectors, international organizations, and academic institutions to discuss global economic issues and developments with the aim of finding solutions to confront humanitarian, climate, and economic challenges. This meeting is also considered a unique opportunity for decision makers to find common ground between various parties to create positive global impacts. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister of Saudi Arabia's patronage of the meeting comes in line with the Saudi leadership's keenness to strengthen international efforts to confront current challenges and find practical, cooperative and sustainable solutions to global challenges. Riyadh's hosting of the special meeting also embodies the kingdom's prestigious economic position in promoting international cooperation to advance global economic growth. The accompanying events and exhibitions will highlight the unprecedented historical transformation of the kingdom and its significant economic growth in light of Saudi Vision 2030 and its ambitious projects aimed at achieving comprehensive economic transformation and enhancing the kingdom's position as a global investment destination.